Everybody, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We've got a lot on the agenda today. We'll remind those in the room that the item number 1, 7, 9, and 12 are public hearings. So when we get to those, we'll be having a public hearing. We are going to convene right now as the governing body of Douglas County 4-H and Master Gardener and Extension Service District. So that's what we're currently convened as. So we're going to start with a budget hearing. So I'm going to open up a budget hearing. It's to conduct its annual budget so that the public has a chance to comment on the Douglas County 4-H Master Gardener and Extension Service District. So this budget was approved by the Budget Committee on May 28th, 2026. So I'm going to open that public hearing now and invite public comment. Anybody like to join some public comment on that? Anybody online?
Nobody online.
Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing. We'll go on to our second item, which is actually a motion. It'll be the agenda item for budget adoption. And we'll invite Jeff up here to talk about that in a minute.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today. Good morning. My name is Jeff Purrier. I'm the Budget Authority and Officer for the Douglas County Extension Service. You have before you the public hearing for the district budget. The budget has been available to the public since May 22nd, as noticed in the news review. We had our budget committee meeting on the 28th. There were no changes to the proposed budget and it was approved. On June 17th, we published the approved budget in the news review with today's public hearing details. To date, we have not received any comments from the community. You have the resolution to adopt the budget, make appropriations, and impose taxes. The total budget for the fiscal year 2026 is $1,728,770. Included in that number is an ending reserve balance of $786,671. Materials and services appropriation will be $895,000. The final appropriation includes $47,099 for contingency. We are asking to approve a tax rate of 6 cents per $1,000 of assessed value on property.
I move to adopt the budget for the Douglas County 4-H Master Gardener and Extension Service District for fiscal year 2027. Make appropriations and impose taxes at the rate of 6 cents per 1,000 of assessed value for operating purposes.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. Questions or comments? Sure.
Thank you. I thank the Extension Service for the work you do, the variety of programs and all the different levels of services you provide. You provide programs for youth and seniors and everybody in between. Your Master Gardener program is one of the favorites amongst people around. I've got a neighbor that's been very involved in that. So thank you for the work you do. And I do want to note make sure people understand you continue to ask for less money in the tax levy, the per thousand amount than what you're able to. So you're still under the limit and you continue to operate that way where other organizations and governments are trying to figure out how to increase their taxes. You still have some room and you continue to come in under. We appreciate it.
Anything else? Call for the vote. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice day. I'm gonna close this meeting and reconvene as the governing body of Douglas County. This is our regular Board of Commissioners meeting. We have nothing on the consent agenda today, so we'll go right into citizens' questions on agenda items. And again, 7, 9, and 12 on the agenda are public hearings, and the time to comment would be then. So do we have any comments or questions on any of them? Anybody?
Nobody online.
Nobody online? All right, we'll get right to it then. The next item on the agenda is number 3. It's building department item.
Good morning, Commissioners. Philip McAfee, Douglas County Building Department. I have for you today building evaluation support intergovernmental agreement. PO -4400-000-3938 between Douglas County and the Department of Consumer and Business Services, Building Codes Division for providing building service, official services, plan review services, or inspection services pursuant to ORS Chapter 455. The agreement promotes efficiency by eliminating the need to negotiate and execute new interagency agreements when the time arises.
Make a motion to approve the agreement.
I'll second.
I got a motion and a second. Do we need to make him read it again? I'm not sure we're all clear.
Basically, this makes the default with the cities, if they don't have their own building department, we become the building department, right? You don't have to have an agreement with them like
It's
before.
more in depth than that.
But that's one of the things it does.
It's one of the things, but it's also if there's a need between us and a neighboring,
Right, another
we
area
can
you
share,
share-
we already have an
share stuff
agreement in
too.
place.
Perfect.
Any more questions on it? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes. Thanks, Phil. Item number 4 is human resources. We've got a contract amendment. I see we have Paul Van Dyke in the room.
Morning, Commissioners. Paul Van Dyke, Human Resources Department. First contract amendment before you is with Corbell Corporation. This contract amendment extends to June 30th, 2027. Contract with Corbell, the county's third-party claims administrator for its self-insured workers' compensation claims that predate the change to prepaid workers' compensation insurance was safe in 2024. The contract's base claims administration fee for 2026-27 is $16,068.38. It reflects a 3.5% annual increase pursuant to the contract.
Move to approve the contract amendment.
I'll second that.
Motion and second. Any questions or comments? The only comment I might make was coming out of this was the contractor noted how good our experience rating was here, which is a testimony to not only our staff but to Paul and the work you've done to keep that down and to educate everybody. So thank you for that work. Makes a big difference on where we're at. So
Thank you. Yes, good luck.
call for question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes. Item number 5 is also a contract extension with the Human Resource Department. Paul Van Dyke.
This is a contract modification that extends to June 30th, 2027. The contract with the county's insurance broker, Brown & Brown Insurance Services. Contract price for 2026-27 is $34,687, reflecting a 3% annual increase. The contract payment cap would be raised to $101,876 to accommodate payment of the $34,687 contract amount.
I will move to approve the contract extension and the modification.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call for question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Thank you, Paul. The next item, item number 6 is an information technology and it's radio department and it's a board order delegating some authority. I'll take this one. It's, we're gonna have delegation of authority.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call for question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes. Item number 7, management and finance, public hearing. I think, going to, do I open the public hearing or are you gonna talk about it first, what we're doing?
I'll give an intro.
Okay.
Morning, Commissioners. Dan Wilson, Chief Financial Officer and Budget Officer for Douglas County. This is a hearing for public comment on the 2025-2026 supplemental budget, Public Works Fund, Public Safety, and County Schools, along with Capital Projects Fund. All have a need to increase expenditures which are greater than 10% of their adopted appropriations for the year. Summary of the proposed budget changes for these funds was published on June 15th, and that's all I have.
All right, I'm gonna open a public hearing on this matter at this time. Anybody like to comment or ask questions on these items, now would be the time for that. Any questions online?
No questions online.
Okay, let's close the public hearing, go on to number 8, also management and finance.
Again, Dan Wilson, Management and Finance. This is the board order to adjust the budget for fiscal year 25-26. There's a need to increase resources and expenditures, as well as a need to adjust certain appropriations within multiple county funds for the fiscal year 2025-26. The hearing was held for funds that exceeded 10% just previously.
I will move to approve the supplemental budget order.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, any questions or comments?
Well, just to say, that this is a normal process. Every year we get grants, additional funding, and things come in throughout the year that were unexpected, unanticipated. It's a good thing when our departments go out and you're able to achieve grants or project funding and things that you have to adjust. I know it's extra work for you and your team. You keep track of it all year, but this is sort of how we true that up. There would have been some question about that. And I don't think people quite understand. It's not like we get one sort of fixed amount of money at the beginning of the fiscal year, and that's what we have throughout the year. All year long, things change, and this gives us a chance to true that up going into the next budget.
Largely due to new revenues coming in.
Call for the vote, Commissioner Boyce,
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman,
Aye.
chair votes aye and motion passes. Okay, so you wanna talk about this one before we open this one up as well?
Sure. Again, Dan Wilson, Management and Finance. This is a public hearing for public comment to discuss fiscal year 2026-27 budget, which was approved by the Budget Committee on May 28th, 2026. A financial summary and notice of hearing was published on June 15th on that. And I believe that's all I have on that. Yeah.
Right. This time I'm gonna open a public hearing. Now is the time for questions or comments on our proposed budget for the next year. Would you like to comment? Anything online?
Nobody online.
I'm gonna close the public hearing. And we will move on to item number 10. Also management finance.
Again, Dan Wilson, Management and Finance. This is a board order adjusting the 2026-2027 approved budget for the general fund and the public safety fund. A relatively minor adjustment due to changes in estimates.
So I'll move to approve the budget order.
I'll second.
Motion and a second.
Basically, this is just the latest information we have from when we had budget hearings, how much has changed, and not a lot changed, but the idea is to get it as close as possible when we adopt the budget.
Correct.
Call for the question, Commissioner Boyce.
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Okay, item number 11, management and finance, the biggie.
And finally, Dan Wilson, again, Management and Finance. This is an order to adopt the budget for the fiscal year 2026-2027, make appropriations, levy and categorize taxes. This is all the culmination of all the work that we've done this year through the budget hearings and budget meetings, and up to this point is our best estimate of what will happen for next year.
Move to approve the adoption order.
So I'm gonna go ahead and, I've got some motion language, if it's okay.
Oh, sure.
So I will move to approve the board order to adopt the budget, make appropriations, levy and categorize taxes at the rate of $1.11, I'm gonna go ahead and read the number, 1.1124 per 100,000 of assessed value for the fiscal year 2026-27.
Per thousand.
Should be per thousand. Said per 100,000.
I'm sorry, per thousand. Let's fix that. Yeah, it'd be better if it was 100,000, per thousand.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, any questions or comments on it?
Just if I may, please. This is a result of a lot of work. there's a lot of moving parts to the county budget, and a lot of departments do work internally and then work with the management and finance department. And then we move into the budget committee hearings. I want to thank our budget committee members, Tom Nelson, Katie Jones, Jeff Johnson, who all spend an inordinate amount of time going through the budget, and they come with good questions and understand what's going on, and have been longtime budget committee members. This is a very sound budget, and Dan, I know you put a lot of time outside of normal work hours to make sure it's right, and I appreciate it.
With that, I'm gonna call for the question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Mr. Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes.
Thank you.
Sleep easy tonight. Thanks, Dan. All right, item number 12 is the planning department. It's gonna be a public hearing as well, so we'll invite our planning director.
Good morning, Commissioners. Joshua Shackley, Douglas County Planning Department. Before you this morning is a hearing and order incorporating territory for an annexation of property into 10-mile rural fire district. Chief petitioners are Naomi and Michael Whitaker. Subject property is located at 2721 Reston Road in Roseburg. It contains a single-family dwelling on 14.97 acres and is zoned timber resource and farm forest. Staff has reviewed the annexation petition and found it to be in compliance with the Douglas County Comprehensive Plan and statewide planning goals. And there are no known objectors at this time.
Questions of staff before I open up public hearing? I'm gonna open up the public hearing at this time. Now is time to ask any questions or provide any testimony. Anybody online, need to do so?
Nobody at line.
All right, with that, I'm gonna close the public hearing. Pleasure of the board.
Move to approve the annexation property.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? None, I'll call the question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Mr. Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Next item on the agenda is number 13. Looks like it's a Public Works Department item.
Good morning, Commissioners. Scott Adams, Public Works. Item number 13 is a contract between Douglas County and VSS International Inc. for a slurry seal and Tri-City 2026 project number 11178. We received bids for this project on June 3rd of 2026. VSS International was the lowest responsive bidder with a contract totaling price of $177,175.90. Public Works is recommending this contract.
I will move to approve the contract.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Questions or comments?
Not a real fan of chip seal.
Slurry seal.
Yeah.
This is a little nicer than driveway coating with a little grit to it. Works real well in our urban areas where,
I know, you try to seal all the cracks, and
yeah,
then you chip seal it.
maybe someday.
That'll ask the question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Mr. Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. Item number 14, Sheriff's Department item. Line up our sheriff.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Hanlon, Sheriff. Item 14 is an annual cooperative law enforcement services agreement between Douglas County and the United States Forest Service for enhanced law enforcement services on the Umpqua National Forest through 4/30 of 2027. The amount payable to the county is $129,020. It represents roughly a 50% increase over the current fiscal year's amount. The remaining balances are paid through other agreements for this deputy, like the PPNL and the North Umpqua Hydroelectric Project pays the balance.
Move to approve the agreement.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments?
Just to make sure everybody's clear, that the Forest Service is paying for part of a deputy and Pacific Power pays for the rest of a deputy. So
Correct.
for 1 million acres of the Umpqua National Forest, they managed to scrounge together enough money to pay for a part-time deputy.
Well, good news about that, though, I guess, is the fact that there's so little roads open anymore, you don't have as much to patrol.
It's funny how quickly they call when there's a problem, though. They just were up at, one of the, was it at the, Hot Springs?
At the Wedge?
This week, they were up there doing a rescue and
Oh, yeah,
all the deputies are up there.
yeah,
They're quick to call us.
yeah. They don't have a law enforcement officer for the Umpqua currently. It's my understanding they are in the process of hiring one, so there should be another LEO presence up there, but it'll be a federal officer, not one that can enforce state law.
Too bad they don't contract with us.
Right.
Anything else? Call for the question, Commissioner Boyce? Aye. Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Next item, number 15, Solid Waste Department contract.
Good morning, Commissioners. Nick Freisinger, Solid Waste. Item number 15 is for contract 30003098 between Douglas County and Civil Solutions Engineering for construction services on an as-needed basis with a term expiration of July 1st, 2027.
Move to approve the contract.
I'll second that.
Motion and second. Any questions or comments? None, I'll call for the question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Thank you, Nick. Next item on the agenda is Commissioner comments. Commissioner Boyce?
Nothing for me.
Commissioner Freeman?
Couple quick things. So a few weeks back, I had an opportunity to meet with Congressman Bruce Westerman's staff in Arkansas. Congressman Westerman is the chair of the House Natural Resource Committee and is a champion for managing federal lands. Sometimes his policy doesn't completely match the public lands we have here in Oregon, so I wanted to better understand what kind of public lands they have in Arkansas and what his lenses are, and I was able to do that. It was a very productive meeting. Lots of follow-up with his staff since that meeting. Yesterday, I had been invited previously, but yesterday I had a chance to meet with the new national director of the BLM, Steve Pierce. And Steve was confirmed just over a month ago on May 18th as the national director. We'd been working with several interim directors of the national BLM, and finally they have a permanent confirmed director. I met with him up in the northern part of the state. We did a mill tour and had some other time together. About 2.5 hours I got to visit with him a little bit. I think it's pretty important for people to recognize, if you think about all the different responsibilities the national BLM has control over and all the issues going on that need to be fixed, the ONC, Association of ONC Counties, the ONC Lands, mills that purchase ONC lumber, communities that rely on the revenue from those purchases, were a priority for the new director. Like I say, he's just over a month of being in his new job. You know, he hasn't really got his boxes unpacked yet, and he's already out here touring timber sales and mills and meeting with the Association of ONC Counties to better understand how they can do their work more efficiently and more productively. He made it very clear that he's under a very clear direction by his boss, which would be the Interior Secretary, and the Interior Secretary's boss is the President, to produce more domestic timber, and they believe the ONC lands are a good place to do some of that work. So very encouraged by the meeting, and got follow-up phone calls today with his staff and the state director and others to continue pushing on that. So very productive day yesterday.
All right, thank you for doing that. I have nothing today from me, so I'm gonna close the meeting. Adjourn. Thank you, everybody, for coming.